Hey there, terrible listeners. Welcome to the final episode for this month's campaign, Masks. You chose this campaign in a Patreon poll, and we will announce at the end of this month. Also, I guess like Merry Christmas. I think we're at that time. I don't know. We're at the end of December. This is our Christmas special now. There's no fanfare.
The most wonderful time of the year. We're not talking about Staples back to school.
Yeah, so we're here. And but in the new year, we continue on unhaltered with new games. You can vote on which our next game will be. We are so in December, the game that you're voting for is the game we'll record in January and release in February. So you are picking now the Valentine's special. So pick wisely, and I hope it's Monster Hearts. I don't
Sweet
even know
Belly
if that's
High,
an
the
option.
board game.
But we always can. We might
Is
be
there a
returning.
thing?
We might be returning to Masks.
no.
If you want us to keep playing it, that's always the first option on the poll. Is always the current game we're playing. So if you want us to do long form games, that's how you can encourage that.
Hey.
That'd
be pretty cool.
The return of the superhero group
is the name
that
of that
hasn't been
podcast
named.
that Leon was a part of.
The Earbuds
ABC.
podcast.
Yeah, the Earbud podcast.
Is that the segue over to
Yeah.
introducing our
Hi there. I am not
our
alone at
characters,
this table,
our
and I am
players?
joined by.
Leon Weinstein, who is playing Wisp the Delinquent.
And what are you getting the delinquent for Christmas this year?
I'm getting some new graffiti cans, some new spray paint.
And to Leon's left, your right.
Adam Luker, and I'm playing Masshole, the Harbinger from the future.
What does Masshole want for the holidays?
Oh, maybe that recipe for that banana bread.
Oh, well. Hey.
Done ass done.
Yeah, Masshole's
by
going to
the
sign
way,
up as a Patreon.
Happy holidays. That recipe will be on Patreon, I think.
It will, yeah. I'll give it to you.
For
Everybody can enjoy.
Well, you know what
Cass
we'll
gonna
do?
give it to you.
Patreon supporters get access to the recipe now in time for the
Cass gonna
holidays.
deliver to you.
And we'll set as an early release so that the recipe will be made public New Year's Day, so you can not work off that weight right away and get down on those carbs.
Oh yeah, no. So seriously, that recipe. Normally, when I do baking, it's just I'm gonna bake a bunch of cookies and then I'm gonna share them with everybody. But that banana bread, I'm just and the majority of this is for me.
Self-care banana bread.
Do you think when Daredevil bakes, it's always blind baking?
So, Cassie's self-care banana bread is being posted on Patreon. The best news is just ignore him.
Don't look him in the eye.
And we have playing our Janice.
Neil Tavares, the Boomerang Kid.
What does the Boomerang Kid get for Christmas?
I feel
what
like
do you
he's
get the kid who can
I feel
build
like he's
anything?
looking for a quantum resonator to really up the potential of the boomerang.
Yeah, you also know-
more
yeah.
targets
Yeah.
per throw. You know.
Wait
Yeah.
for Boxing Day. Those go on clearance.
Yeah.
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 If this
And-
were Halloween, you would have had a boomerang recipe.
Boom. It just
And the
it
one
never
who is
ends.
Boomerang recipe. It's perfect.
So now we're here. The beacon that's inside all our hearts, who is inside us all along.
Hey everybody, it's me, Cassie D20 Love Chui, and I'm playing Soul, the
What-
beacon,
what
the
does
team mom.
What does soul? I don't want to say what does soul want for the holidays. What is soul getting everyone else for the holidays? Because we know that's the kind of person soul is.
Probably very large batches of cookies and baked goods and things like that. Soul really loves to bake and share with people.
Yeah, soul food.
Yeah. Just really nice decorative jars.
It's
And-
nothing.
It
I
is
was just nodding
Yeah.
sagely,
It's very yes, yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is an ingredient
Very
in soul cooking.
Yeah, just jars of cookies with nice little ribbons attached to the top.
Aw.
Yeah,
Mason jars.
very large mason jars. With
Snow
lots of
is
cookies.
pouring through the open hole of City Hall as it drifts into this wreckage of a building. You stand in front of Vortex, who is offering, "This isn't what I signed up for. I can help you turn it back." Dr. Infinity lies unconscious after being hit with an EMP trick shot arrow from our beacon. And in a quick moment, what we didn't have to do any start a session thing. We did them all last week, right?
Yeah,
so,
we did the end
so
of
we're
session.
we're all good for that. So we can go right into this.
So does she have her gear is what gives her all these powers kind of a thing?
Dr. Infinity is gear. Dr. Infinity
Not Gear Master, but
is a time-traveling android who seeks to protect the integrity of the time stream by any means necessary. So think of like Poison Ivy, but obsessed with time instead of the environment. And was at least somehow convinced by Dominus that this was preserving the time stream and making it the way things were to be.
So like Poison Hour V?
So
There was an attempt.
You tried.
Do I get
yeah.
potential?
Good. You get all potential.
Dr. Infinity has released manifestos that get shared around all the time, condemning Halcyon City as a focal point for dangerous temporal anomalies. And in some parallel timeline, she has succeeded in destroying Halcyon City. So this was a way of like destroying the cause of all those anomalies. Like the super community is the reason why the time stream keeps getting messed up. So if they cease to be, she's never had the power to do that, but it was Dominus who gave the way through. By going to the future, she could change the past with dark matter hurricanes, because you can do anything with that shit.
Well, I think we gotta take her limp body with us and get the hell out of here because the sirens were on their way.
Yeah, I'm just reading up. Yeah, I can do that. He's like, you old kids look very tiny. Allow me, I'll carry her. And he turns on his chest and sucks her into his chest. And she does like a little spaghetti string stretch. Is
this like evil Kirby?
And he turns it up.
I think he might be.
And so she's going to be kind of held in his quantum singularity.
Whoa.
Let's get out of here.
Well, aren't we
I'm
talking
not sure
to
whether
Vortex
or
and
not.
figuring out what's happened?
Well,
We might not wanna do that here,
So,
though.
as you're pondering on that, Soul goes up to Vortex and like extends a hand out, like, "Hi, nice to meet you. Let's be friends."
He just turns, and as he turns into a singularity, and there's like and it's like a little doorway. The boom opens up.
Oh, okay,
Look safe. Jump in.
sure, okay. So
And
I
you hear like,
so
stop
I,
right there, everyone on the ground.
In,
yeah,
in,
Maxwell
go, go,
says,
go.
okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Time to get out of here. Thank you.
Holes are usually pretty good, so I trust it.
Holes are
A
pretty.
hole has never turned me wrong.
Most are okay.
In the hole, in the hole, in the hole.
Go, go, go.
So you go.
You're thinking of
Stay
something.
behind.
Kind of just like, I kind of want to like, I don't know, like I can teleport and steal their hats or something just to shit on them a little bit. Take them with us.
If you want to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do it.
Gonna go for it.
You're good. Like all the police officers that are
Yep.
running in.
Yeah, I'm gonna teleport behind them, take their hats, then teleport back into the
Put them
portal.
on each of the members of the team.
Now they'll
So,
think we're police.
unleash-
Let's
your
give this to
powers.
people who are real heroes.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Two. Oh, sorry, 6 plus freak 0. No, I fail.
oh no.
Yeah, is that what unleash your powers is?
It's freak, right?
Yes.
So yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah. No, I fail.
Uh-oh.
What?
So when
What
you
do those
unleash-
police do
Yeah,
when the delinquent comes and tries to take their hat?
So the well, what's gonna happen is you go like, be right back, and you teleport, and as soon as you kind of come out, you are tased. Like, immediately, and you just see like zoop, bamf, bamf, and you're down on the ground, and they're putting him into cuffs, and he's just gone.
This is so much worse than it looks.
Yeah. Do we know that he's been apprehended?
Yeah, it's like right there at the door. It's only like 10 feet away, and the rest of them are coming
shoot.
towards you.
I might. So
The door's not going to stay open for much longer.
I have already gone through. Like,
Yeah, I
heard
thought we
the
all
word,
went
I was like,
through.
we're going. And
Yeah,
then I
I-
went
I-
through.
One
I
of
went
my
through.
things is to put the delinquent in chains. So
Okay.
we don't worry. When we separate
Yeah.
the groups, it won't be for long. But
Okay, we'll
They're
have to
gonna
get
be
him
like-
later.
Yeah.
also, they're going to freak out because they've never seen anyone teleport before. So that's going to be a whole thing here.
Yep.
Listen,
All
it
right.
will only be temporary. He
Jailbreak
can
episode.
teleport again later.
Mark potential. Oh yeah.
I have so much potential. I'm showing my true
Hooray.
delinquent potential by fucking up.
Yeah, that's how you would level up in this game, is by screwing around. So the two of you are like, that sounds like a him problem, or that sounds like a her problem. Like
I'd
we're
already
out
gone through. Like,
Yeah,
here.
I have no
So
idea what
Boomerang
happened.
Kid, you're the only one who actually sees the tase.
Shit. Snickerdoodle.
What are you going through the door?
I just yell out, "We'll come back for you."
Okay, so offer to comfort or support someone.
I'm gonna comfort or support. I'll be
Okay,
like,
roll mundane.
"Don't worry, we'll come back for you. If not, just teleport away."
Yelling that out to the opposite.
6, 7.
Okay, so
Is that a hit?
on a hit, they hear you. They can mark potential,
Cool.
clear a condition, or shift labels if they open up to you in response. Well, you're being tased. Do you feel comforted?
I'm like, this is the most comforting thing right now because nothing else is.
it's something, yeah.
We'll be in contact.
I don't think I have a choice. I think I have to trust you.
Okay. Mark potential.
Which is what I'm trying to say, but it's coming more like out more of a
GTA 5. Okay. So you go through, and as you go through the door, it's like a sense of like that falling off a roller coaster. Oh god, this is gonna go on forever. I'm never gonna fall when I hit the ground. We're gonna hit terminal, and then you just stop, and you're on the roof of the former Phoenix Academy.
We're back.
And you're back. And Vortex is standing there, and he's looking up into the sky, and his, hat's on, coat's bellowing. It's a little bit of a splash page moment. The three of you are standing there, the door behind you, zoom. And then, after a small, awkward pause of silence, the intro voice that normally comes on at the end of the episode started speaking now. This is a lesson on always checking the memory card before you start recording. Don't worry, this episode isn't over yet, but we did have some lost time. The editing isn't perfect, so I, your very valuable voiceover man, will now give a little exposition. After they arrived on the rooftop, we followed to the delinquents' current predicament. In the police station, we are unfortunately missing the interrogation with the hard-boiled noir officer who doesn't believe anything about these superpowers you have. It's clearly drugs. And so when he calls for a lawyer, they called the delinquent's father, who is a lawyer in this timeline. And then they learned something else that's in this timeline. His dead mother is very much alive. And that's where we pick up, is in the interrogation room as his father arrives at the police station to collect our delinquent. And I'll be back at the end of the episode to tell you what's coming up in the new year. So, you've called your dad the lawyer. Your dad lawyer's showing up. And it was Michael Morton. And Michael Morton arrives, and he's got this look of, worry and concern and exasperation. And this isn't the first time he's had to come and bail you out and be there. And he's just, what? And I mean, Adam already revealed my card there because of course I would. Why wouldn't I? We're in a different timeline now. What's your mother gonna think? And he leads you down the hallway and out to the car and taking you home.
I'm kind of really in shock, like hearing like, what would your mother think? So, what, Mom?
And just as that's happening, I'm gonna say, Boomerang, your radio starts working in. Yeah. You're able to start contacting. Hey, Wisp.
Yeah. Basically, you're for what I was thinking before. Wisp, I'm gonna make a fake bomb request.
No, I was gonna say, now you've got him, and you can just call him back to the group.
Oh, okay.
We've got a plan. We're gonna fix the timeline.
We've got a plan. We're gonna fix the timeline. I was gonna call in a bomb threat, but it might not be good.
Metagaming. We don't need to call in the bomb threat anymore because he already talked his way out of the police.
Yeah,
detention.
there you go.
Honestly, I like it's character motivation. I kind of feel like I'm pulled away from this and towards my mum. And guys, my mum's here. She's alive.
Oh.
Well,
Shit, really?
yours might, but how many others aren't?
But you've got to understand. I never had this life. I could have a life here.
I mean, until like tonight.
Yeah.
Dominus has his way. You get about 12 hours.
I mean, if Dominus has his way, he's going to remove a whole lot more than just your mom.
I know what I have to do. I turn to my father and I'm like, Dad, I'm sorry. Tell Mom I love her and teleport away.
Whoa. Wow.
And
That's
and you
heart-wrenching.
bamf back up onto the former Phoenix Academy roof. And I feel like you want to punch something now.
Guys, I'm having feelings.
And we didn't even get to like in the comic. It's still like no one even bothers drawing her face. You never see
Yeah.
it, right? This is like Peter Parker finding out Uncle Ben is still around,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
House of M. So good.
Yeah. And so
So-
you get back to the roof, and Vortex is pulling out when you arrive, pulling Dr. Infinity out of their chest.
Did I make a team move?
What was the team move?
The team move in like
You chose-
negating my own desires for like
You chose
the
the
goodness
team
of
over your
others.
mom.
Like I chose
Yeah.
to do this over like my own selfish desires.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
So what is that, mark potential?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Right.
snap.
Someone's got a moment of truth coming up in a climactic scene. So Dr. Infinity is being pulled out of Vortex's chest. It's kind of weird, a little like reverse Vor.
Are we all back
Gross.
together yet?
We're all back together.
We're all back together now?
We're all back together, and Dr. Infinity is going to be coerced by Vortex and convinced this is not the way. Also, he's going to erase us next.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I've totally ignored that is a thing happening, and I see that Wisp has reappeared in front of us, and I run over and like give her a hug, like I was so worried about you.
And I'm still a bit shaken, but I'm like, guys, I'm here. Let's do this. What are we like? Because I missed all of the vortex type stuff, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay kind of just doing that.
Well,
Like,
just,
like, let the adults handle that. They've got their plan now. Vortex is kind of like convinced Infinity how the timeline can be worked out. And it's the argument isn't so much about whether or not Dominus needs to be stopped as a common foe, but can we really work with them?
Mm-hmm.
They look like a bunch of bystanders, Vortex.
I feel like at this point, Kid Boomerang Kid would kind of go into a whole bunch of like, well, actually, no, not really. If you manage to and
No,
just
that's going to be
this-
the name of your comic book series now, The Bystanders.
the bystanders. There we go.
Jeez. Oh no.
And so the at Vortex is, there's no one left. We erased everyone else. Admittedly, I would rather have Gearbox Master, but these will do.
Gearbox Master.
Gear Master, whatever that other one was. That was
His name's not important. He's useless.
He's already gone. He's been
Yeah,
gone for so
fuck
long,
that
I've forgotten
guy.
his face.
Yeah, he was an idiot. So what's our next steps then? We have to find him.
So Dr. Infinity stomps over. You broke my machine.
Sorry, it had to be done.
You can build machines.
Yes.
And out of Infinity's arm is like this, it looks like first like it's like a hologram projection, and then it like solidifies into like a hard light, and then it turns into like a little plastic blueprint, and kind of hands it to you. Build this tonight, or we all die.
I'll get on it right away.
Yes, ma'am.
I walk over to Vortex and Dr. Infinity, and I open up the container of banana bread and offer them some. Would either of you like one of these? They're very tasty.
I feel like I take like a list.
They both just stare at you.
And I kind of like maintain eye contact as I slowly close the container back up and back away.
There's still supervillains. They're still supervillains.
Wisp, I write
can
down
be
on a piece of
friends.
paper. Wisp. I write down on a piece of paper a whole bunch of different like mundane items. I was like, I need you to pop around and find these for me as fast as you possibly can.
I'm on it.
Crime spree.
Poof, poof, poof.
It's not a
It's
crime
like-
spree if the timeline gets rewritten.
It's true, yeah.
Hey.
And then as soon as I get it, I start working on building this thing about as scratch built and quickly as physically possible.
Start matriculating splines and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And
the gravimetric flux and all that stuff.
so, yeah, we're trying to build a MacGuffin here to then take to Dominus, who's going to try and rip out, dark matter. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where you come in, Harbinger. You know a bit about this, and the beacon is here
Yeah.
as well at the banana bread.
I come bearing peace offerings.
How do you want to approach Dominus tonight to stop this plan?
I think we have his teammates here. Maybe we play things out like, they're still on his side sort of thing, and we kind of pull a quick one on him, and maybe get him in a false sense of hope that the plan's still going forward, but then we actually have an ulterior motive, and maybe we can maybe I can do something. We can banish him and I back into our own timeline.
I realize this is actually kind of similar to my last Masks game, which ended with a portal to parallel realities.
Portals are
over here.
popular, yeah.
It's kind of like, well, it's the hole in the sky.
There's a guy with a
Mask
hole
thing.
in his chest in our game.
And now you're working with portals.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, I got to figure out how to avoid that trope if
Yeah.
we ever return to Masks again. I can't do
No
three
portals.
endings that all end with portals and worlds colliding every single time, or then it just turns into the Steve Moffat run of Doctor Who. It's just not entertaining anymore because we've just been there so many times. All right, so the last stage I just have written here, pour forth the storm, and so is Dominus is going to blow up the world tonight, and once that storm is broken free, and the dark matter becomes hard, it won't be able to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to stop Dominus. And Dr. Infinity knows how timelines work and know how things happen and slow down and speed up and kick around. And maybe we can use it to kick Dominus back to where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
And we just have to distract him and get close enough and work together to keep this machinery going. But, last time I had Protege who threw together this really cool final team mode moment, and I don't want to be, as a GM, I don't want to quarterback you through this final scene here. You've got Dominus, who's going to use the machine from the city hall that he stole off with, or from just the machinery that Gearbox made, and with Infinity's help, and try and just open it up now. Like, okay, we're not doing surgery. You're not doing surgery anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're just gonna cut it all open, and tear into space and time. And of course, Infinity is like not having any of that, and just wants to send Dominus back to the future, and like a Ghostbusters trapper kind of thing. But is going to need all of you to work the equipment and cage Dominus in. Because this isn't a two-person job, or else we would just do it with the two of us. What would you like to do?
I feel like for the Boomerang Kid, I feel like he's been working on this device for a long time, and he gets to the final little bits, and he's like, the last bit is power, and we don't have a lot of that. And so he takes his little boomerang, and he's like, Boomer, I'll try and fix you up as soon as I can. And it gives kind of like a couple little flashes.
Chirp, 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 chirp. Little R2-D2 sounds, really
Aw.
He
humanizing.
pops it up, pops it open,
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
takes out Boomer's power source, and plugs it into this device.
Device becomes
And then
Boomer's new home.
You got this thing now. This ball of plot. that you take to the fireside.
I hand
Ball.
it to to what's her name? Infinity.
Infinity.
To Infinity, and be
Dr.
like,
Infinity.
civilian.
Should have given her a
this.
more impressive voice. I'm Dr. Infinity now.
she's just Yzma.
Ah.
I would have.
Now we will restore the timeline. We'll bring back the supers, and then tomorrow we will fight to the death, and we will be enemies again. Yes.
Put this up your civilian pipe and smoke it.
I would love for her to just be voiced by Eartha Kitt. That would be amazing. She would be perfect.
Hero babies. All right. It's time to deliver a Christmas present to Dominus in the form of a glowing ball of plot hope. What do the rest of you want to be doing? Where do you want to be? What do you want to do in this attack?
I am here to help. I don't know what that entails yet. But I'm going to help.
You get the gear. You can write down the gear that's been built. The device that you've been handed to from Boomer.
Oh, could I count the building that device as something that he would consider a simple pleasure?
Oh.
Yeah, fling yourself into easy relief. He likes building. It's what he knows.
Yeah, okay.
Can I have that eraser, please?
You can in a minute, apparently. Okay. Sorry. Hang on. I'm no longer hopeless. Yeah. Cue Sephiroth music.
Dominus. 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 All right, so you're going to provide logistical support, Beacon, and you've got the equipment that's been built. So you hold the ball,
I got the ball.
and you just have to.
Ball's in my court.
The ball is going to. We need to get this on to Dominus before he does what he needs to do, and then shock it with infinity particles and send it back to his future. And if we can do all this, it might have some ripple effects that set it back to before Dominus's influences. Because that's how time works.
Yep.
Okay.
Do we know where this is going to happen? Because we're expecting him to be somewhere specific, right? Because there was one more stage, I think.
Yeah, there's one more stage.
Do we know where? Were they in on the plan? Vortex and
I mean, where would Phoenix Academy was chosen for one location.
Mm-hmm.
City Hall was chosen for its flashy location. There would be.
You said.
It would have to be the History of Natural Museum where
Oh,
you
of
first came
course.
through.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
Where that's where the last storm happened. Where the veil is weakest.
Cool.
So we're going back to the T-Rex.
Going back. To
This
the
one hasn't been
T-Rex.
wrecked by the delinquent yet. So maybe there's a redeeming story here to be had.
You see it and you're like, not
What
this
do you want to
time.
be doing,
this
delinquent?
I think we've got this orb type thing, and so do we need to get it to Dominus? How are we? How is
the
this?
four of you have to work together here to outsmart, outmove, and also don't trust the villains.
Right.
To get this time catcher onto the back of Dominus, send them back where they came from. Well, that makes sense. I'm just making this up as I go.
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to have to be some of us who can take down each of these villains if they turn.
Oh.
My enemy is my friend.
Yeah. If they turn on us, I feel like we're going to need to know how the hell to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
Souls already showed that you're some of your trick arrows.
Your
can-
teleporting is going to be very helpful to move people like the beacon around, and the beacon's got the trick shot to get that onto Dominus from a distance if you have to.
Yep.
You got Boomer running tech support and keeping other things on with whatever other gadgets you've got up your sleeve, and as well as your kinetic energy. You might even be able to fling everyone in and get some momentum going. And then you have
I'm gonna. Massel's gonna try to contain him. Maybe Like,
yeah,
keep him
just
busy.
distracting
Yeah.
as like I'm from your time.
Yeah.
I was sent here to stop you,
Yeah.
acting like the time cop you're not. And yeah, and maybe even Vortex will be able to work to help like beef up your power and your support, because you do have Vortex and Infinity here. They're only working with you because they keep all their stuff in this world, and they want their stuff back.
It would hurt
Like,
their street cred too.
Vo-
I mean,
Vortex-
if we're honest.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, I mean, you can also pierce the veil on either of them.
I definitely
on,
want to try
on
at
Vortex,
least on Vortex. Yeah.
because he's got an interesting little backstory here that explains why he's turned coat,
Pierce
and
the
he's got a
veil
really
was on
nice
this
coat
one,
to
right?
turn.
It's true.
All right, it's
A pretty
cool coat.
sweet hat.
Pretty sweet hat. He actually looks like the Shadow. Is kind of how he's
Yeah, like
drawn.
Baldwin.
The radio drama
Oh, Pierce the Mask. Yeah.
or the spirit.
Or a greedy version of Darkwing Duck.
Plus my main 9 for Pierce the Veil on
Okay, 9 on Pierce the Veil gets you 7 to 9.
Pierce
Ask
the
one.
Mask.
What are you really planning? What do you want to do? What do you intend to do? How could I get your character to blank? How could I gain influence over you?
So I get
You get one question.
one question.
Choose wisely.
I know, right?
And piercing the mask is also, to see the person beneath. So you're watching.
What
the
are
way
you?
Vortex is
I
working.
think
You
maybe
can
the
tell
best one I can think of is what are you really planning? Does he really mean this, or is it still some sort of way to kind of get himself into the top?
Thing is, the Vortex had already been kind of on his way to retirement, being a Silver Generation hero, and was falling into the realm of obsolescence. And there were so few adversaries left. He wanted to avenge them and clear the table and tie up those loose ends. Now they're just gone. And so's all of the energy and pursuit he had left in him. It's not. This wasn't fair. This wasn't vengeance.
A cheap victory.
So this was it was cheap, and on top of it now, he can't stop Dominus.
Plus, he wept for there were no more worlds to conquer.
And so it's all about, like, he's not done his work in the world they left behind. He wants to restore the world back so he can go back to avenging his former hero adversaries. So you are helping him to go back and terrorize Halcyon City that you left behind.
Gotcha. So he wants to get back, but he still wants to be the same bad guy he is when he gets there.
It was a cheap victory. This wasn't fair. There was no honor in this. No, he wants to defeat those heroes, not just erase them from ever having existed. They're still out here. They just don't have any powers, and it's just not satisfying anymore. And he had done that. You hear him talking about, I even found the old Scarlet Spectre. Found him walking around. He's a car salesman. This whole world is boring.
Yeah. His legacy as a villain is gone too. Then, right?
That's true.
Like,
He's a nobody.
yeah.
Yep. What's the point in destroying the world if no one's there to remember you?
Okay.
Are we in the
Infinity
museum?
is all about, like, this isn't what the timeline wanted. This isn't, this is a more pure world than it was. But if Dominus wants to keep erasing and erasing and erasing and erasing, then it'll break the balance.
So this
That
is him
Dominus needs to be
assessing
stopped.
this.
And that's
kinda
and you
thing.
hear that as Vortex and Infinity are, like, debating about what to do and what to stop.
Sure. Well, they're trying to convince Infinity too. Exactly. Like, oh no, this is how we repair the timeline.
And you get this feeling like Vortex and Infinity are more in this together, not so much working for Dominus. They're a team.
Well,
Shipping it.
So,
Right.
are we at the museum, or are we like
yeah.
still
Maybe
talking
we're
about-
getting ready. We know he's gonna show up there, right?
Yeah.
So maybe. Well,
You're
Soul,
starting to
when you're,
see clouds forming
Yeah.
above the museum district.
Time's a ticking.
Get moving.
Soul, when you're ready to make your shot, Wisp, maybe you or Vortex can help me. Make me appear above Dominus. I'll distract them as best I can, and you make that shot, Soul.
Well, you can portal your way above Dominus, can't you?
But if my focus has to be on trying to wrestle with Dominus. I can't be concentrating on my own portaling and all that
Sure
kind
you
of stuff,
can.
right?
Unleash your
I'm
powers.
trying to make a team move here,
Unleash your
man.
powers.
Guys, I never thought I'd say this, but we need to work as a team. If you can distract Dominus, Soul, I think you're with me. I need to get you as close as possible, but Dominus can't know that we're coming.
Nope.
Are you guys able to run interference and distract them and kind of like weaken their ability to sense that we're coming?
Yeah, I mean, we'll do the best we can.
And Soul, this is on you. It's time for you to be the hero that Masshole knows that you are.
Okay.
And I
It's your
think we all
moment
know
to
that you are.
shine.
Mass hero.
Okay.
Masshole sounds better.
It's
Better
really
ring
hard
it.
to say masshole, like sincerely.
No, seriously. Like,
You
I
understand?
can't.
Adam's other character in our other serious masks game is Mammoth Bong Wizard, or MBA for short. You heard what MBA said.
MPW,
It's
but
like,
yeah.
or MB Dubs.
MB
And
Dubs.
we're like, what, man? And he's like,
No.
Guess
Mammoth
what?
or Bong Wizard.
Yeah.
Bong Wizard's got the right plan.
Guess what? He's a delinquent. Who would have guessed?
So, anyways, so the storm clouds are starting to form, and Vortex is like now, and
Yeah.
and
I'm gonna go
He does
hide
another
it.
bit where he turns into he folds into a singularity bit, and there's that white door, and Infinity kind of closes her. I hate this part. She steps into it. And because that's the thing is where Vortex, you can create portals. Vortex becomes a portal, which is a little different. He creates one end of another end of a wormhole, and it's sort of follow him if you want or make your own entrance. But we're gonna get a splash page either way.
Cool. Well, I want to hide out, and when the shot's ready, you make me drop on top of him.
So
I
the
thought you
comic
could make
cuts
it-
to
I'm
the
taking
history of
Soul
natural, or the Museum of Natural History. I keep calling it the History of Natural Museum. So we return
of
to
Natural
the
Museum.
History of Natural Museum, and there's Sue the T-Rex who's playing Dungeons and Dragons on Twitter with.
Oh
with,
yeah,
with
I
other
saw
people,
that.
who's a non-binary, prefers they and them pronouns as a skeleton T-Rex. And anyway, they're there, and Dominus shows up. Like people, there's the school tours are walking around. People are standing in the museum. Everything's kind of quiet, and all of a sudden, there's the ground opens up. The doors all kind of melt down as all the matter starts being moved and shifted around, and he just kind of comes out of the ground on this rising pedestal, pontificating as well. Like the time has come now for the species to ascend to their rightful place as owners and rulers of this world. We will steward this timeline to a more pure age.
You know,
Everybody's
Soul
taking
doesn't
pictures.
typically hate people, but this is pretty close.
Yeah, Dominus.
She's getting real sick of this guy.
Dominus. And there are people are fleeing out of the museum as things are falling down. There's a banner, that's getting, everything's just it's all rising and turning into this great big pedestal / boss battle platform fight. And
Final
there's
destination.
matter floating around and that, and then above there's the dark clouds of the dark matter storm, lower than the cloud level should be, and as slowly they begin to keep rolling in on themselves, getting darker, like Vanta Black dark now, where it's the image isn't all light is just being absorbed. It doesn't even look like a shape anymore. It's just a hole in the sky, and it's just blackness as it continues to grow. And his portal is rising up, and he's getting ever closer to it with this device, this more broken down, hammered together Gear Master Infinity box. And he's gonna turn it on, and he's just gonna put it right into the thing like a bomb, and just rip it out as it's rising up. How do you make your entrance? And team move. When you enter against a dangerous foe as a team, add 2 to the team pool. You got a lot of team pool, so make sure to use it. If the leader has influence over every teammate, add team. So who's the leader going into this fight?
Soul, I'd say.
Soul?
Yeah, this is her moment.
agree.
Are you the soul of the team?
I guess so.
Yeah. So, do you have influence over everyone else?
I do.
Team. Everyone has the same purpose?
Yep.
Yeah, shut this down.
Shut this down. Say goodbye to mom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. Just twisting that knife a little further.
A little bit. A little bit.
Does anyone mistrust Soul?
Not at all.
No.
Are you ill prepared? Off balance? I don't think so.
I wouldn't
I'm
say
just
I
a
think
little
we
bit-
got
We
this.
prepped. We prepped. We're
We
Yeah.
prepped for
Going into
this.
the final fight, we haven't been using team.
No.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10 team
Wow.
into this final fight. So, be sure to use it for all the combo moves, right? You got a lot of team combo breakers you want to be doing, and that's where you can spend team to add dice rolls. I am going to keep track here in this final bit of Dominus and his conditions, and we're going to actually play this out properly. Conquer. And he's got a couple of moves that I have right here, and I'm going to keep track of his conditions as you hurt him as well. He also gets angry, afraid, guilty, insecure, and hopeless, just like everyone else. It just turns into different things as they get conditions. They unlock moves that are unique to that condition, and it can be like take prisoners and things like that, right? So so this great big platform / final boss battle is like rising up out of like the remains of the history museum, because god damn it, in every history of Halcyon now, every multiverse timeline, I need to destroy the same museum where New Cleopatra first made her debut 2 years ago. And the music is playing and the swirling, and it's all like, this is where all the variant cover arts are coming from. This is what would be shown on Free Comic Book Day, and everyone's going, "Oh no, what's gonna happen?" And in any other podcast, this is where we would end with the cliffhanger as we go in. But this is the final episode. This is it. This is the scene. So how are you going to make your heroic entrance and debut in this timeline? Because no one knows that there are even heroes in this world. They're like, "What is happening? This is horrible."
I feel like maybe that like kinetic energy, Boomerang Kid's gonna put both hands on the door and just.
Cool. So then it's just and he goes out, and it's like the ceiling is kind of gone. It's like everything's just kind of floating and being moved in to feed this throne podium dais is being like raised up out of the ground. Like, you ever see The Lion King live on Broadway show? How Pride Rock would come out of the stage. It's that, but like 20 feet into the air now.
Yeah.
30 feet, 40 feet. It just keeps rising.
And Dominus is standing at the top of this.
Oh,
Right?
he's floating above it
floating,
with the machine.
okay.
It doesn't even need to
Just,
be there
like,
because he floats,
Giving,
but like it's
well,
there.
it's rising the
Yeah.
device up into it.
Oh,
And
the
I-
device is on
okay.
it.
And it's like
okay.
just pushing it up like
Got it.
like a telescope, like it keeps going. Dun, dun, dun,
Can
dun.
can I directly engage the threat here?
Yes, you
potentially?
can. Yes.
Taking some, like, normal
So that's how you showed up.
boomerangs.
You push
Yeah.
the door in, and how everyone else, each of you getting a frame. How would it be drawn? How's your entrance?
Standing in the
into the
doorway,
final fight.
silhouetted, of course.
Yeah.
So you're
I
there
picture
behind.
like we're looking up at it.
So you're all
Yeah.
four of you are posed there with Boomer.
I'm gonna reach down and grab Soul's hand.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
And I nod knowingly.
We look into
Like-
each other's eyes.
Definitely. We like make like good strong eye contact, like we can do this, we got this, let's do it. Like,
Okay.
yep.
All right. So each person
right.
will get a move before another person gets a second move. So we had immediately Boomer wants to engage a threat. So he's like, it's like, let's fucking do
I'm
this.
going to use a regular boomerang charged up with this kinetic energy to just
Gambit
whoosh.
style.
Gambit style, exactly that.
I'm-
So directly engage a threat is
So that's 5. I only rolled 6
a 6 plus danger.
plus my danger, right? So it's only 5 plus danger.
Oh, so he says 6.
So you add a
so the
6.
6.
So you can selfishly take the team and shift your danger up another stat. Give it into
Or-
the 7 range.
Or if somebody can assist you some way with the team.
Is there something like that where I'm not being selfish? What's the other
Well, yeah,
options?
well,
The
One of
other
us
way
can,
would
by
have been
assisting.
before you rolled. You could have worked with a player to roll in as a combo.
I think you can do it after the result.
Yeah, I mean, I'll allow that to happen now as we're still learning, but
there has to be some way,
that's
though.
like selfish is after the fact, team is before the fact.
What if it's like I need a better angle?
But
Can
it's
you,
fine. We're
can
all
you-
teenagers. We can all be
Yeah.
selfish. Like, it's fine. You'd be like,
That's
I
true,
got
too.
this, buttholes, and off you go. Like, that works too.
I guess I'll try it. Why not? I'll use one of them
just
to
the
up
same.
myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Because the other way is you use team to help other people, right?
yeah.
You're engaging a threat.
Okay,
right?
so I'm engaging it. So,
So you need to knock your danger up 1.
So you
I
knock
knock
your
my
danger
danger
up 1 and
up
one
one.
of your other stats down 1, right? You're doing a label shift on yourself.
Okay. So bring my danger up 1, and then bring something else down 1. Maybe mundane, I guess.
All right. So now you're hitting to the 7 range. So that works better. So you're going to pick one of these. Resist or avoid their blows. Take something from them. Create an opportunity. Or impress, frighten, or surprise the opposition.
I'm thinking between those last two.
Create an opportunity.
Create an opportunity. We'll do that. Create an opportunity.
Yeah, because I'm basically just like waiting for the opening now.
Yeah,
I see,
wanna-
like in mid monologue, it's just a.
Explode inside his face.
So I need to get Soul to like a good position, a good vantage point. I want to try and assess the situation to see where we can do this.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
6
assess
plus
the
3,
situation.
10.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you
So
get to
7
ask,
plus 3, 10.
you asked 2 of the questions here.
Sure. So what here can I use to like manage to get you close and like to get you to the point where you need
You
to
could
be?
teleport from floating block to floating block.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'd be like nice little short, easy to time and aim points. They can go bink, 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 and then you're right above, and then it's just boom, and then go for the 3-pointer.
Sure.
And it'll also give you the higher ground to make it easier to get a shot in.
Sure. And also,
Because he's just so up his ass
Yeah.
right now. He's just got like floating
Making a
bricks
show.
that are
Yeah.
just there to be.
Look what I can do. Yeah.
yeah. And also, what here is the greatest danger?
What here is the greatest danger? Dominus, who is about to start throwing floating bricks at Boomer.
Okay. So Boomer, Soul, I know how to get us
Like
there.
you're about to start taking a powerful blow because you didn't choose that option.
Yep.
I'm totally down.
I know how to get us there. Boomer, you need to watch yourself. Is there like he's going to start coming for you, and you need to be ready. Can you
Roll plus conditions. I say to the Janus. How many conditions do you have?
None.
So just roll, and not adding anything. You're looking for a low number here.
9.
Oh,
That's what
no.
I rolled.
So on a 7
Now I
to
roll a high
9,
number.
you lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition. You give ground, your opposition gains an opportunity, or you struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
So that's when. So you're saying this is
Yeah,
what
this
happens
is what's
when
happening
I'm
to you.
gonna
Is
hit-
you're
get
there,
hit.
and just as you're being like, you better watch out, a big freaking floating boulder comes crashing towards you like a meteor.
I'm kind of thinking the last of them, but would you mind going through them again? Is that?
Lash out verbally
Mm-hmm.
to provoke a teammate to foolhardy action. Give ground, and the opposition gains an opportunity. Or struggle past the pain, mark 2 conditions.
I'll struggle past the pain.
So which 2 conditions will you mark?
I'll take afraid and hopeless, I suppose. Or maybe insecure. Yeah, I'll take insecure and afraid.
Okay. Great.
Well, Masshole's concerned that, I mean, if this goes up in, it's going to detonate, basically,
Yeah.
right? So and it's rising up on this platform.
Yeah.
So he's looking around, trying to think of what to do, and he decides he's just going to run and like go to like the wall of the room and just kind of start pulling a portal open.
Yeah.
And hoping that he's basically someone underneath the platform and it's going to start going back down and out horizontally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So basically, sort
You're
of
trying to
thing.
create a portal underneath the device.
Yeah, and under this rising platform.
Yeah.
So it basically stop it from continuing to rise up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
That would be unleashing your
It
powers
sounds like that,
to,
yeah.
to reshape the environment like that.
okay. My freak's not very good. I'm probably gonna need some team spent on this perhaps because
How would someone assist you? I don't care how. Just someone just needs to propose that they're assisting and describe how that can happen.
I am going to use my beacon move, won't let you down, by like super cheering you on, being like, you can do it! You got this, we're a team!
You throw a rose.
My work here is done, but you didn't do anything. Whoosh. So
Nice.
that adds 2.
Awesome. All right.
12.
I rolled. So it's
And
12.
you spend 2 team points.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So what does that get to? 6 to 12?
12. Yeah.
Okay, so the device. Okay, yeah. So you're going
trying
to
to pull the
neutralize
platform
the
from rising
impending
more.
dude, right?
Yeah.
And so or are you opening up a portal above it so it'll go into the portal before it goes into the cloud?
Ooh, I like that better actually.
That's what I thought you were describing.
Oh no, I was gonna have it like basically start going back down the way it came, kind of,
Oh.
but basically out into
yeah,
the
yeah,
foyer.
This platform is massive.
Yeah.
It's like the size
Yeah.
of like a cricket pitch now. It's
Right.
Jeez.
like it's just every time it comes out of the ground, another larger circle
Is under-
and
oh,
then
I
another
see.
larger circle. So the whole thing is kind
It's
of like a big
like a cake
like
sort
a
of thing.
pyramid cake
Yeah.
coming out of the
Yeah.
ground. Yeah.
Okay.
Layer cake.
All right, then it's probably easier from the top then.
Yeah, but
all
you
right.
just open and just kind of
Exactly,
pushes
so-
it up
right.
into your
But it's gotta
portal
go somewhere, so
before it goes into the
So
cloud.
it's now coming out from the wall next to
Yeah.
us, like towards the middle of the room. Yeah, exactly.
and it's like and it's all like wiry and EMs and like radiation and
Yeah, and I'm trying to hold the portal open because it just
Yeah.
wants to collapse. 'Cause it's so
Yeah.
big. It's like, jeez.
well, not to mention you're also close to another portal and you're
Yeah.
surrounded by like and it's just
Dang.
there's all kinds of
Yeah.
yeah, but you unleash your powers. You're doing it, and
Yeah.
you holding the portal on a 12. You're able to snap that portal open. You won't have
Oh,
to
cool.
actually hold it open. 'Cause
Cool.
it's just too
Hey.
good.
Nice.
But
Hey.
Dominus sees you're taking his
Yeah.
thing away.
Yeah.
And he will just detonate it and
Fun.
take out the museum, but he won't necessarily get to the cloud.
Right.
And he's going to turn on you and directly engage on you for that. So roll to take a powerful blow as well. Do you have any conditions?
I have one. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're rolling +1.
Cool.
You're looking for a low number.
5.
Oh, hey.
Nice.
So you stand strong, mark potential, and describe how you weather the blow. So you're holding this portal open when another like floating piece of museum comes flying toward. Like he's throwing stuff at you like he's Darth Vader,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, but basically where I was standing,
Yeah.
kind of like ducks down and pulls another portal up with his left hand behind him,
Yeah.
a small little porthole size one, and the
Oh.
rock goes through there and ends up fucking
And
flying
hits
up.
him. It just
Sure.
comes back around
Sure.
at him again. You shoot into
Exactly.
his face. He is angry.
Oh.
And remember, if you get 5 conditions marked, he's out.
Yeah.
Right? Or this device on him, whichever comes 1st Leon.
So I'm gonna do something which is like kind of like out of my character to use emotion control in kind of like a positive way for my team, but I'm kind of gonna like turn to Soul and be like, it's your time to shine, and like emotion control, just this kind of like a confidence that she doesn't normally have, to try and like improve her ability to react in this situation.
Hey.
Nice.
Emboldening.
So I'm gonna use my powers.
All right.
Oh, that's a 6 on the die. Plus anything?
Yeah. Do you add anything to that? Can you add anything to that?
I mean, have I got...
What was that? What was it? What was the move?
The move was like using my powers, using emotion control. And
So
was
it sounds
free.
like you're comforting or supporting someone,
Sure.
right? Like you're
Yeah.
using your
Yep.
powers to support your teammate.
Yeah.
So even though it's a power, it's still
Is
mundane.
it mundane? Okay, well that's +1.
So that's plus
So it's
1.
7.
So that touches it into 7. And
Nice.
on a hit, they hear you. They mark potential, clear a condition, or shift a label if they open up to you. So and as well as get the were you hoping to get like a forward, or what was the result of that you were hoping to do?
Basically, I'm just trying to embolden her and like
It
Yeah.
sounds like a forward towards her shot.
So
Yeah.
do you have
That's
any
exactly
conditions
what-
there?
I have no conditions.
You have no conditions. So whatever you're about to do, we can shift the label in that favor, right?
Well, see, here's the thing. I think it might be time for my moment of truth.
So do you want to mark the potential instead? Like, hold on to it. You've got the support, and you can cash that in. So you have a forward to using whatever support you want. But yeah, so here's the moment of truth. So take it away. What's happening here? You've got the delinquent saying, you know, all right, you're going to do this. I'm going to go. We're going to do some teleporting. You'll have the higher ground. I have the higher ground, Dominus. It's over.
All right. So I gotta read this out.
Yeah, you do.
The moment of truth. This is the moment when you show them exactly why you belong here. You would do any one thing, take out any one enemy, no matter how insane, no matter how ridiculous, because that's you. Their jaws are going to drop when you're done. Of course, pulling off a stunt like this tends to bring unwanted attention and a dangerous reputation.
Oh, I
So-
love this. My mind is running with what is going to happen now.
Yeah.
So there's no more dice rolls. The episode's over.
Did I ruin it?
Actually, though, you didn't
No,
ruin
not
it
at
at all.
all.
We're going to go right to the epilogue.
All right.
Everyone's been calling you a bystander since the first episode. You haven't really done anything except one or two really cool trick shots. And then right here at this moment, you just get to narrate.
Yep.
This is all going to work, and everyone's going to be fine now. You guys are getting pummeled with rocks. You're starting to, tumble through. Vortex and Infinity are kind of like running support with Tech on the outside, but they're not. They're all like, "Well, let the heroes deal with this," and they're watching.
Yeah.
And you're going to take out Dominus, and you're restoring the timeline and sending everything back, and also in such a flashy way, everyone's going to know it was you.
Yeah.
Even in the timeline you're about to fix. Like, I'm imagining that when this happens, you're going to have returned back to our world and then send Dominus off, but not before everyone sees like the effects of that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's all
There's
going
like a
to
mirror shimmer through all realities
Yeah.
in whichever realities natural history museums. They're all witnessing this.
All right. So I look over at Wisp and I nod and say, "It's time." And so we go through the process of, I guess, how do you teleport me?
So I'm gonna grab you, like just holding you from behind.
Yep.
Basically hugging you. And just start teleporting. I guess, as we're saying, like across like the flying debris and stuff like that to get closer, and then like have you right on Dominus.
Yeah. Okay. So we land on that like final bit of rock. And from where we're standing, the shot isn't quite right, so I actually have to jump up and flip over
Yeah.
to exactly the right
Jump
position in
off.
the air and shoot. And like this is all happening like almost
Backwards?
in like, if you imagine it's in like slow motion.
Yeah.
This is happening. I jump up, I like do like this acrobatic flip, I pull on my bow. The ball is on like the end of the
Yeah.
arrow. And I release the shot and it hits him right in the back.
And he turns though, and he sees you as everything starts to like balls of light and electricity start to move around him, like they're like wrapping and binding, as that ball is itself turning into more portals, because that's all this is portals on portals. And
Yep.
it's kind of like
Portals all the way
pulling
down.
him into this backpack, and he's sees you were the one that did this. And as that's happening and flickering, the light around you, it's that same effect that was happening when you were on top of the academy before. And everything is starting to go like that weird negative as long as you're within the range of this.
Yeah.
And of course, you all are. And things are flickering. And you're returning back into the museum as you have a mason restoring the mosaic wall that was destroyed. Just as Dominus is now appearing above the sky like some specter ghost, and the four of you and Vortex and Infinity are all like phasing in, and the sky above, the dark clouds are going with you, but they're starting to spread out and pour down and all kinds of weird hurricane nonsense, as the device you have is reacting to Dominus and being pulled away, and it's starting to disappear as if it was never constructed to begin with, like Back to the Future style.
Right,
It's
yeah.
just vanishing, and then very quickly and very moment. Dominus just kind of goes crunch, 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 in. Just gone. Very folds 8 times. Just like
Does he
in.
hold 8
Not
times?
8 times. No, that's your ultimate. That's your moment of truth. That's your moment of truth. Folded 8 times. Boom. And And there's that same janitor from the history museum from before, and the mason put in the rocks, and that's all happening, and you all fall through, and I just want the delinquent, if it's okay, to like appear and fall through the accidentally, because it was just a hallway in the other reality.
Just refurbished.
And you're in air with your arrow, and you're the one who shot that, and you kind of land right in the center of the museum in your outfit with your arrow, Dominus making this big thing, and the people that are at the museum are all just like pulling out their phones and like videotaping and snapping it and posting it on Instagram, and it's like all of a sudden like this YouTube thing where people are like, oh yeah, look, there's the T-Rex, they're fixing the mosaic over there. What is that? What is going on? And it just goes viral of this like moment of, you know, we don't even know what the threat was, but you stopped it before it even hurt the city, and you're back. And but Vortex and Infinity sink away in the they slip out during all the commotion with the bystanders, and people like, oh, like they got their phones out, cameras are going, there's the media drone things are flying around, they're snapping flashes. You've got Aegis Security, which works with the police when there's a superhero moment happening, are all like moving in and trying to get statements and figure it out. And you know, you don't really have like your full licenses, but you're registered at Phoenix Academy, so you know, sometimes in an extreme case, and it's just like a flurry of activity going around, as like you've gone from being a bystander to being like literally the center of all the attention. They're not even really looking at the other three of you.
Oh no!
They're just kind of like, and they were there also, and which is good for Boomer. You can just like slip away, take your mask off, run off with everyone else with your backpack, and the delinquent, the harbinger. You're feeling like you may be one step closer there. Harbinger,
I think Massel kind of realized like that was probably his opportunity to get back to the old timeline.
Well, yeah, but those storms are still going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? You haven't stopped the future. You just stopped a future.
True.
And it seems clear that you picked the right team. Right. That Soul is the person that you thought they were going to be, that could stop that potential future from happening.
Yeah.
So you made the right call. And meanwhile, Wisp, this person you've been looking up to is really coming into their own now.
And you had to leave your mom behind too. Like that's tough.
Yeah, no, that was totally heartbreaking.
Yeah, you're just kind of left. I guess there's a moment of quiet there.
Yeah.
When you're in that museum, everyone's going around. You're just kind of like,
everybody's celebrating, and he's just like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Is it pretty shitty kind of win?
Your dad shows up to pick you up from the museum.
I just want to, I guess I just want to check and talk to Soul and be like, hey, I like my mom, right? But I did the right thing, right?
And so Soul just like reaches over and gives you like a big hug, and he's like, you did really great. You did a good job.
Mark more potential. Everyone around.
Yeah.
Yay.
I mean, there's lots of things we can ask about, growing closer to the team, into your own image, growing away from the team. You had a question there, Neil?
I just like for fluff, can the boomerang kid find like the closest officer and say, here, this is a tracker. Before Void and Infinity left, I placed bugs on both of them. You'll find them with this.
Yeah, they're rounding up that and they're heading off into the underground prison facility for high crime, high villains.
Yeah.
I think in doing this and like finding the heroics, I think I really did kind of find that purpose I was looking for. Mm-hmm. And I kind of feel like it spurred like a change in me, just a fundamental change in my character.
Yeah, and you were saying in between episodes that you weren't even sure if the delinquent was going to remain your playbook. Mm-hmm. What were you thinking? You think you're turning into?
I kind of think I'm turning into the star, like going the other way of going. Like, if I'm going to be a hero, I'm going to be like
the best,
the hero.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe that you're like just flexing on all these fools.
Just going from just totally extra. And Janice, we didn't deal with your double life that much because we kind of removed you from that double life completely. But do you want to return home and deal with that?
I don't know. I think he's got to think about that. Like this showed a whole bunch of kind of different potential that maybe his double life is holding him back from actually making a difference.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, for sure.
because I feel like this was the time where he was in it extensively. This was the whole thing was him away from his mundane shit, and he got a chance to see exactly what he can do when he's dedicated.
It's like Peter
So-
Parker pulling off his mask with Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I always like it when our stories end with a moment of truth. It's always a good moment.
Yeah. It's perfect fit.
Last thoughts before we wrap, because we're way over time.
Yeah, way over.
This is a Christmas present. This like 2-hour episode that we didn't intend to record.
Just a small statement. Silverwolf can suck it.
Fuck Silverwolf.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
Just watch from
Silverwolf. Oh,
outside.
okay. So Silverwolf is part of the first responders to the museum, who like shows up because this is like in their territory. It's in their hood, and they kind of walk in as they're like people are taking statements, and Silverwolf kind of walks in and is like, "What? Her? Really? Her? No, you're mistaken. Someone else was doing that. It was probably that one with the crazy impossible costume."
So I walk up
She's
to
just a
Silverwolf.
bystander. She's yelling at the police at the line, like on the wrong side of the tape.
So I walk up like all past all the people, like
here's
all the way up,
80s,
all the way up to
John Hughes
Silverwolf,
movement.
and I just like I step right up to him, look him straight in the eye, and I'm like, "You have no idea what I'm capable of," and I turn and walk away.
And that's when like
Cue
some
the
music starts
Yeah.
playing. Yeah. Don't you?
Just a fist into the air.
Freeze frame.
The bystander club. Perfect. So you reject Silverwolf's influence,
I did.
and you get to clear off your drives and move down the next list there.
Well, so let's see. So I reject someone who tells you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
That's done. The other one that I actually really, really wanted to do, but I wasn't sure how I was going to fit
Yeah.
it in, was stop a fight with calm words.
Yeah, I mean, there would have been a good time if any of there been infighting going on. You would have been
Yeah.
able to like calm things down, and maybe that happened a bit in the park.
Maybe a little
Right,
bit.
there was a
but-
little bit like where you calmed someone down and then immediately was antagonized, and
Yeah.
then everyone's like, you kind of, you're part of Team Mom.
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit. I guess
yeah,
so.
That's good enough. You crossed that out, and then you had another one that you haven't done.
That's it.
That was all 4. So you got all 4, and then you
Nice.
move on to the next 4.
Yeah,
So you-
basically.
So the beacons drives continue on. Last thoughts from the other 3 before we say goodbye. No, we're gonna
not
do it.
really. It was a
Nothing
lot of
pretty
fun.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
I may have lost my mom, but I think I found myself.
Ah, there you go.
Feels puns and feels. That's the Leon experience.
I love it. Dude, I had this like one really dumb one-liner that I had in my head that I was just like, it would have been really, really funny if Wisp said it. It was like when we had to break a bunch of rules. It was just like... You can't break the law if it's already broken.
I've been your game master, Justin Ecock. Didn't have to do a whole lot of work because they did the work for me. Surrounded by my heroes, who are that in more than just name. Surrounded by
Leon Weinstein.
Adam Luker.
Cassie D20 Love Chew.
join us on Patreon for the debrief, and join us next month for our next game, which you can keep voting for on our Patreon page, patreon.com/Terrible Warriors. Until next time, everyone, thank you for listening. Be good to each other. Bye.
Bye!
Hey, that's it. Terrible Warriors has new episodes out every Tuesday, but we change things around during the holidays. The next episode of The Terrible Warriors will be out in 2 weeks. We're going to take the first week of January off, and on the 8th of January, the first episode of our New Year campaign. You voted for it again at patreon.com/Terrible Warriors, and you voted for us to play a new game, not a sequel. Hey, it's called Night Witches. It's written by Jason Morningstar, and, well, if you want to get psyched for it, go look up the Wikipedia entry on the 588 Air Force Regiment from the Soviet Army during World War II, an all-female Air Force regiment, and we're playing a role-playing game based on them. That starts on the 8th of January.
For more information, follow us on Twitter at Dice Warriors. Come join our Discord channel and hang out with us. We've got a number of listener gaming groups going, and, well, you can join in on one of those games, or you can join in one of our private games that we run for Patreon supporters. Find out at patreon.com/terriblewarriors. And Masks, this game we've just wrapped up, well, if you're a Patreon supporter, you can head over there now and listen to the debrief episode for this campaign and hear what we thought about returning to this game. For me, a third time, and for many of them, the first time. And, well, we break it all down right there for you. Masks is published by Magpie Games. Thank you, Magpie, for making such a really cool game that I hope we will be returning again for Volume 4. Today's Terrible Warriors, and your heroes who proved themselves very well, were Leon Weinstein, Adam Luker, Neil Tavares, Cassie, Chui, and Game Master Justin Ecock. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time, right here on the Terrible Warriors.